Okay, hey guys, what's going on? I'm just confused because it's literally as if like this hasn't gone out to sub boxes properly. So I'll stream for like the next. We'll stream for a bit, but if it's literally where like no one's here and like YouTube's not working properly, then I'll probably just end the stream because it's probably not worth doing if like the interaction's gonna be at like such a low level. It just seems that like this hasn't gone out to sub boxes properly. I'll give it a couple more minutes, but if it doesn't reach what I think it should, like minimum, then I might have to end because it's just pointless. But we'll wait and see. Yeah, that's the thing. It says 60 people are watching. At this point, there'd usually be like 200. So, and I could literally title the stream like "Poo in a Jar," and yeah. So I'm just gonna wait and see, because it took like a minute for someone to type in chat. Usually it's like 10 seconds. So I'll wait and see. It's obvious that like something's up here, but let me just have a look. Is the rest of YouTube stuffed up? It sort of looks like it, but we'll wait and see. We'll play it by ear. But welcome everyone to the stream that is here. As I said, we'll just stream for like 10 minutes and just see how it goes because okay, it's starting to pick. Okay, it's all good. I think it's okay. Yes, Nova just said that the alert just came, so it seems like they. Okay, that's all good. The alert obviously was just a bit late, so YouTube's just a bit delayed today. Okay, that's all good. I'm just making sure that everything is all good over there. Okay, that's sweet. Okay, I don't really want to look at myself. That's annoying having that up there. Okay, we'll look at this. Okay, welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Whether it's morning, evening, night, or 3 a.m. Hopefully having a good time. Hopefully everyone is... I guess if you're watching Supergirl today, you're excited for Supergirl. But we'll just talk about some other things. I don't think this will be like a full-length stream. It's just that I didn't upload a video today because I just didn't upload it. I had a video to make, I just didn't upload it, or didn't make it or upload it. So yeah, people are just getting the alerts now. So YouTube's obviously just a tad delayed. Why am I surprised? Why am I even acting sort of shocked that YouTube stuffed up? But yeah, so welcome everyone that's coming in. 3 a.m. in Caleb Stars area. I wouldn't say that's the best time, but anyway. So I'm just looking through the chat. Welcome Raya Kota into the stream. Thank you Doug Schneider for that. Am I your dad? If you are, it'd be a massive surprise. Because I'd be very surprised if that's the case, Doug. You know, figuratively, I guess if we're going to say it, we could say that I'm your dad, but I don't think literally. But yeah, we'll get into the gist of the stream. So if you are new to the stream, or even just need a fresh reminder, try and keep the chat nice and civil. Don't try and be edgy and trying to, I don't know, just be edgy, I guess. Try and avoid doing that. Just keep the chat nice and civil. Have a good time in the chat while we are streaming. If you want to help support the channel or the stream or whatever, you can super chat by clicking the little like block dollar emblem down near the chat box. You can get your question 100% answered or your comment 100% read out. Depends what you want to write there, I guess. Or you can donate through Streamlabs and with the link at the top of the description, which obviously serves the same purpose. So we'll just go through the chat. Hello, Josh, into the chat. Hello, Artu from Finland. I think that's the best way to say it. So people are asking, yes, there should be, okay, so today is exactly 2 weeks away from the crossover. So this week we obviously have episode 7s of the shows. Next week we have the mid-season finales or episode 8s of the show. And then the week after that, we have, or 2 weeks from now, we have the crossover, which starts today in 2 weeks on The Flash, and that's because Flash and Supergirl are swapping days. So, last year, we had the trailer, like a proper sort of trailer, like the first like proper trailer for Crisis on Earth X released with Supergirl during an ad break, from memory. I think it was an ad break. I don't think it was at the end of the episode. I think it was during an ad break. So we hopefully should get that today as well. If they don't, they are really leaving the promotion for this crossover till very late. So it'd be almost like very shocking if we don't get it today. I'd be almost very surprised. And also Stephen Amell tends to do like subtle teasers to something coming. So he did post yesterday on not Instagram, on Twitter, him watching the Supergirl episode of the crossover, or the last portion. So he posted an image of the black suit Superman with his like eyes glowing, and then he also posted a picture of Kara or Supergirl in like a Star Lab cell, which will be different in the crossover, obviously. So it almost seems as if he's teasing that we will get something today. So keep your eyes out for that. Obviously, it's probably best to just keep your eyes out of the channel, especially if you don't watch Supergirl. You don't have to watch Supergirl just to watch the trailer. I'm sure I'll be online fairly soon after, if not like a minute or two after, and I'll definitely have my trailer breakdown out for it today as soon as I possibly can. So yeah, as I said, keep your eyes out for that, whether it's just on YouTube in general or for my channel specifically. Maybe they are waiting for the Flash episode to show the big trailer. It wouldn't matter because they'd show it with Supergirl and then they'd show it with Arrow and Flash. So it doesn't really matter when they premiere it. It's just that logistically and like in regards to, you know, how far away it is from the crossover, it makes sense to show it tonight on Supergirl. Like it's not like a big movie trailer where you want to get like instant hits on it, you know, on like YouTube views and stuff. It's just a trailer. It's a trailer for an event. So it doesn't really matter about views. It'll just have replay value over the week and next week as well, leading up to the crossover. So the earlier they get it in is the better, but they want to debut it with one of the shows. So it'd have to be Supergirl, saying what exactly 2 weeks out from it. But we will jump into some super chats. Thank you guys for super chatting. Very generous of you. As I said, if you do that, you get your question or comment 100% read out. Dan McFrig with the is that the first one? Yeah, Dan McFrig with the £2. I don't get the CW. So when Supergirl ending? I'm not too sure what you meant. Is it meant to say going to end? I'm not sure what you meant there, Dan. If you want to let me know in the chat what you specifically meant there, just let me know in the chat because you might want to reword that. I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. I think I get the gist of it, but I want to be exactly sure before I answer it. So let me know in the chat what you exactly mean there. I'll jump into Priyesh's, which is £2. Thank you very much for that, Priyesh. Who is the big bad for Arrow Season 7 and Flash Season 5? Well, Flash, it does seem like it's going to be Cicada. However, who knows? I think it all depends on Nora's twist with who she's working with in the future. I think that's really going to decide who's the big bad, because if it's someone big that she's working with, then you'd have to think that they would come in and be the big bad. However, we do know Cicada's filming for episode 11 at least, and he has like a new cloak or new, what do you call it, trench coat, I guess. So you'd have to think that he's going to be there, but as I said, it sort of depends what's happening with Nora. I'm just sort of looking through the chat to try and see the thing. If Dan's, let me know if you didn't hear me, Dan. Just let me know what you exactly meant in your comment, because I was sort of 100%, not 100% confused, but just sort of confused. In regards to Arrow Season 7, I would say maybe Ninth Circle. I don't know. It's hard to tell with Arrow at the moment, but I don't think the big bad really matters. I think it's more about like the character building they're doing with that show. Alex Figs with the £5 is, I'm just trying to see if Dan's let me know in the chat. No. Okay. Alex with the £5, $5, sorry. If Kara were to switch lives with someone, who would you like to see? I think it would be funny if it was Felicity and she just starts hacking out of nowhere. That'd be pretty funny. Like if Kara was like the Felicity Smoke in this ELSEWORLDS thing. We know in the Supergirl episode that it's going to take like a bit of a jump, where it is going to be like more people swap lives. But initially it's just going to be Barry and Oliver. But it would be funny if they did something where like, you know, Felicity and Kara did swap, like Cisco and like Diggles. Like that would be super weird, but like Cisco and Diggles swapped. And who else? Yeah, like that, maybe like even like Caitlin and like one of the Canaries. That'd be pretty funny. Like if they just like did all these swaps and stuff. But you know, I don't know if we'll get that. It seems like Kara is probably just going to remain Supergirl for the crossover, and it's going to be like maybe Cisco and some other characters that maybe have a bit of a swap up in regards to what they're doing in the crossover. We'll have to wait and see, but it would be nice if they did like heaps of swaps and just, even if it's just for like 5 minutes of the episode, I think it'd be pretty funny. Dan, clarify when I meant about today's episode ending since I'm in the UK. I still don't understand what you mean there, Dan. I'm sort of confused. I don't get CW, so when's Supergirl 2 ending? I still don't understand what you mean, Dan. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm just being an idiot. If anyone in the chat wants to clarify if I'm being an idiot and I'm just not understanding. Like, it is early in the morning, but I just don't understand that. I'm really sorry, Dan, if like you asked talking sense and I'm just being an idiot. Someone help me in the chat. What does Dan mean? I'm really confused. I'm super, super confused. Am I being an idiot? Because I can't understand what the question is. What? So when is it ending? Oh, okay. So you mean when does today's Supergirl episode end? Okay, we'll end in what? I think Supergirl starts in... Is that right? That time on the clock? Starts in 2 hours and like 20 minutes, so it'll be done in like, what, 3 hours and 20 minutes, I guess? So yeah, like just over three, like around 3.5 hours, Supergirl will be ending. Okay. I think that's what you meant, Dan. So yeah, Supergirl will end in about 3.5 hours. And you should be able to watch it through whatever means you decide to watch it on. I'm not going to promote or label what that means or where and what those means might be, but yeah, it'll end in about 3.5 hours. So when is the trailer supposed to hit? Well, as I said, Supergirl starts in like 2 hours and 20 minutes, so the trailer, if they usually do release a trailer, it's usually halfway through the episode, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong in America, but they always, the middle ad break, like throughout the middle of the episode, is the longest ad break. I think it can be anywhere between 2.5 to 3 minutes. So if they wanted to release a minute trailer, they could. If they just want to release a 30-second little trailer, they can do that as well. But that's probably I think in the past, when they showed the Batwoman one, the Arrow one, and the Flash one, they were in the middle of the episodes. The Supergirl one was released early on YouTube anyway, so I think they showed that earlier in the episode. But what do you call it? I'd expect it halfway through the episode. It's probably the best time for it to come out. Did you read the article TV Line did about science of Iris jumping off the building? I saw it and I saw people blowing up about it, but the issue is that I didn't have an issue with the whole science of it, because Flash has always been a bit, how are you going with science? Like, calcified speed force? Like, explain that, please. The issue with it is that Iris did a superhero thing, which is not a superhero. And the thing is that you got to set standards on the show. And now, if there's other things where Iris could get involved and she doesn't do it, and they're like much smaller and less risky than that, then they're sort of hurting her character, because she was willing to jump off a building to save Barry. So now they've got to do that. They've got to meet that quota with Iris all the time now. Or at least like consistently got to meet that quota. So what's that going to turn Iris into? Like a vigilante or something like that? Or just some person that just does all this stuff? So they've set a standard that they have to meet. Now, I've always said, I didn't like the scene. I thought it was stupid. I thought that it wasn't jumping the shark, but I just thought it was like, huh? Why'd they do that? However, you can like that scene. I'm fair enough. People say they like the scene. I'm like, okay, sweet, you can like the scene. However, you can't criticize the show ever again. And the issue that I went to the replies of that TV Line article, and the issue is that people were like, no, Caitlin's stuff was stupid, and it was this, and this is the exact same. So Caitlin's stuff was stupid. It's like, so you're saying Caitlin's stuff is stupid, but you're comparing this to Caitlin's stuff, saying it's the same. So you're in turn saying that the Iris stuff was stupid. So you're admitting that it's stupid? Okay, put to rest. So the TV Line article I thought was unnecessary, because they jumped into the science of the science of the show, which has been an issue since, as I said, a while. Like, I think season 1 and even season 1 was fairly consistent. I think it actually got sort of applauded for being very, very consistent with its science on the show. But once again, as they brought in like various things like time travel and all these other stuff, and just trying to like go a bit maybe too far with certain things, that's when they sort of like started just almost making stuff up, or just making common mistakes or easy mistakes for people to pick out. So it's been a common issue on the show since season 2. So I don't know why it's waiting until season 5 to point that out. And I don't think Iris's thing was, I guess it was physics and stuff involved. Like, how would she act, like exactly get down to Barry and all of that. As I said, that scene should have been Nora saving Barry and Iris. I said, I don't just say that in my review, or did I say it in a stream afterwards? I think I said in a stream afterwards. I was like, fair enough, Iris jumping off the building, but what they should have had is that she wasn't going to unlock the cuffs. Might I say, whether it means that she missed Barry, or she was just struggling, or maybe she dropped whatever it was that unlocked the handcuffs or the meta cuffs. And then Nora, because we know that Nora was getting there, Nora saves both of them, and it's like a big family moment. That's what it should have been. However, they tried to push the thing where it's just like, oh, like it's a big... They almost cheated, and that's why it's a bit... I think that this scene is a bit... They almost cheated with the Iris scene, because they just tried to like, skip like 3 steps ahead by having this like big moment with Nora witnessing Iris do this. And it's just like, you sort of cheated there. Like, you should have had Nora save both of them, and then it's some big family moment, and then all of them. It's just, it's like bonding. It's character progression for all 3 at once. So I don't know why they didn't do that. the Ralph thing, yeah, but Ralph had to sort. I guess the issue is that they didn't really show what Ragdoll was doing. Ragdoll, I just said Ragman. What Ragdoll was doing there. Like, what did Ragdoll do in that thing? Did he jump at Ralph? Was he going to tackle Iris? What was he doing? So, when I first saw Iris jump off, I thought Ralph had her legs. That's what I thought, because Ralph's arms like sort of stretch. So anyway, let's move on. I don't really like talking about it because it's just no one's going to agree on it. It's just going to be one of those things that just no one ever agrees on. That article, I don't think was the smartest thing. I don't know who wrote that article. I don't know why he or she wrote it. I know TV line. I'm not going to look it up, actually. I can't be bothered. But I don't know why that article exists. Well, people always are like someone like toxic YouTuber. It's pretty funny. We're talking about West Allen and Iris, and then certain fans blowing up and toxicity. But toxic YouTuber wrote, "Patty Spivot should have replaced her." I've always said this. West Allen and Iris West and Barry Allen is the only relationship that would have worked on the show long term. I am surprised they never did anything with like Barry and Caitlin, because they always like hinted at it early on. Obviously Barry and Patty was a thing. I don't know. That was sort of weird because it seemed like they were going to do that for a majority of the season, then she just randomly left. I don't know what happened there. It almost seems like it was pointless having her there. But West Allen is the only relationship that would have actually worked long term on the show. It's the only one. I was talking to someone about this. What was the point I made? One of the biggest issues that they do is that they try and... I won't be able to find it. Someone wrote like an amazing tweet. It was like one of the best tweets I think I've seen. I might be able to find it because I think I retweeted it. Let me just try and see if I can... Sorry if you can hear my mouse scrolling. I broke my other mouse. Don't ask me how I broke it, but I broke my other mouse the other day. So I have to use like replacement mouse that is sort of like... Here we go. So this guy wrote, if you write... So he's 100% referring to West Allen in this situation. Or maybe not 100%. He's like about maybe an 80% referral probability here. But he goes, if you write a book or screen couple like, they're supposed to be together, so they are, and nothing else is even a possibility, you can rob the relationship of any chance of developing organically. It's harder to sell... It's hard to sell without real history or actor chemistry. So... One of the big things that's been always said is that Grant and Candice don't have the best of chemistry. However, that's a big thing in the Arrowverse. Hardly any of any of the relationships that actually happen on the show have chemistry. Like, you actually believe their romance or anything like that. The only one that I think currently like works is probably Ava Lance on Legends. Like, that's probably the only one that sort of feels somewhat realistic in regards to feel. So maybe that's one thing that maybe the CW shows have an issue with in general. It's just the way that they write relationships. It's very forced a lot of the time, and they always treat the audience like they're dumb. Like, you're not meant to like just see it happen, as this guy is saying. Organically, it's just being shoved down your throat. So that's like the perfect tweet to sum it up. Anyway, that was toxic YouTubers comment, and then we summed it up. But as I said, like, I think the argument about like, oh, West Allen shouldn't be a thing. West Allen should be a thing. It's just the way that it's portrayed is borderline just dumb. Like, well, not dumb, but they try and treat the audience like you're dumb, or like we're dumb. Did you hear about Tom Felton's, at least they don't force chemistry. Like, yeah, the Lena and James is probably the worst, or the best example of a terrible romance on a show. Like, that is as forced it can get. They have zero chemistry. Like, they're zero chemistry. And the story of the show leading up to it makes no sense because Ben, DC TV shows in here as well. So he might be able to clarify. But it's a certain amount of time before they got together, they were like at each other's throats. Like, they hated each other. I don't know. Ben might be able to clarify when it was. But it wasn't long before they got together. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. Sometimes, couples that get together might not like each other at first, or there might be like a distaste, like, oh, I hate that guy. And then they love each other at the end. But this was like, they despised each other. They just weren't happy at the, at each other. And then they're together. It's just like so forced because they wanted something to do with those two characters. They wanted to give those two characters screen time, so they forced a relationship together. But anyway, someone asked about Tom Felton. Yeah, I saw that article. I don't think they'll bring Julian Albert back. From what I remember in regards to it, Julian Albert was actually meant to be in season 4. And I don't think Ralph was meant to... was it that? It might have been... it was either... I'm trying to remember. Was it Ralph wasn't meant to be there? Or was Ralph still going to be there? I think Ralph wasn't meant to be there. So, essentially, going into season 4 of The Flash, I think it was meant to be Julian Albert was meant to continue onto the show. However, Tom Felton took another role. I don't know if it was big, but he took another role on a show or in the off season or something like that, which would have. No, he took a play. That's right. I think he took a play. He took like a theater sort of thing. I don't think it was going to conflict with the Flash, but it was cutting it close or something. And because of that, they just weren't happy because he signed up to it without giving them permission. And so I think they just cut his role. And then that's the whole thing with Ralph. And that's why they brought Ralph onto the show. I might be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure he was meant to be in a show on The Flash season 4, but he took something else. And I'm 99% sure it was a theater role. I remember reading it. It was like a theater role or something. How is my dog? My dog is... He was just... Where is he? Cal. Here he comes. Come here. I'll put him up. I'll bring him up on stream if everyone wants to see him. Come on. You're too heavy. Hey? Oh, you're falling. You're falling. You want to say anything? You want to say anything? Or you good? No, you're not talking today, are you? Hey? Not talking? Hey? Okay. Come on. Too heavy, Cal. Oh, God. Too big. And now Paige has a hernia from picking up Cal. Yeah. Oh, God. Wasn't surprising that was like one of the causes. Definitely not helping. I've had to I couldn't pick him up for like ages because I was recovering from my hernia surgery. Cal is really cute. Yeah, Cal's the best. Hey? Hey? He doesn't, like, honestly, if you see him in real life, he doesn't look that big, and then, like, you pick him up and you compare him to you, and you're like, God, he's big. So I'm just scrolling through the chat. He's huge, yeah, he's gotten very big. If anyone, I'm guessing, if there was any, like, people that were here on stream, like, when was it, like, earlier in the year, you would have seen Cal when he was, like, what, like, like that big? Now that's, like, the size of his head. Now his head's, like, that big. Choking then slapping his dog. Yeah, basically. You like the slaps there, don't you? You like them. Any Arrow news? There was something, actually. I think there's... Actually, here it is. Okay, so here's some Arrow news. I don't know if it's true. This is from IMDb. So if anyone remembers back in season 1, I think it was. Remember there was the guy that... went to Oliver and he was gonna like knock Oliver out because Oliver slept with his fiance or his girlfriend or something like that. And he was also like a rival club owner to Verdant, which was the club that Thea and Oliver sort of ran. Like it was underneath Verdant was Oliver's base, like the Arrow bunker. That guy that played that character is in episode 8 of this season, and that episode 8 is called Unmasked, where we're meant to learn about who's the new Green Arrow. So I don't know if that has any relevance, whether maybe the new Green Arrow targets her, targets him. Max Fuller, is that his name? Max Fuller. Max Fuller Arrow. That's him. Slept with Max's fiance at the... Is the owner of Poison, a nightclub in Starling City, yeah. Okay. Thought it was. He's meant to be in episode 8. So, yeah. Paige's stream popping like his appendix. Not my appendix. I remember last year I thought my appendix was exploding, but it wasn't. It was just massive cramp. So I'm just looking at I got 2 super chats. Gary with the $3. Thank you very much for that, Gary. Do you think Theo, I'm guessing you mean Thea, will come back to Arrow? I don't think so. She had issues with people on set and just the show in general. Not saying she hated the show, but I think she just wanted to get out of it. So yeah, I don't think she'll be coming back. But thank you very much for that. And Aquadoink, donated $2. I hate DC Legends with a passion. Oh, that's fair enough. I like it. You know, agree to disagree. I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but you gotta like watch it for what it is, and you gotta understand like what the show's going for. But yeah, the DC TV show. How do you remember that shit? Are you talking about the Arrow stuff? The reason I remember the Arrow stuff is because I don't know if anyone remembers this, but Prometheus, when Prometheus was there, and they said it was connected to Oliver's past and stuff like that, Max Fuller was one of the big options going around for the who Prometheus was going to be. Don't ask me why. I guess it was, as I said, because Oliver slept with his fiance, but that he was like one of like, I'd say he's probably like the top 5 picks for Prometheus because Oliver had like messed with him in the past and stuff like that. So he was actually one of the big things with Prometheus. If it was all the way back to season 1, I'd have no idea who he was, but you know, the fact that he got brought up again in season 5, that's the reason I remember him. When is the trailer going to drop for Elseworlds? I would say in around 2.5 hours probably, because Supergirl starts in 2 hours. And then I would expect if they're going to show the trailer, it would probably be halfway through the episode, so 2.5 hours from now. So I'm just looking at the chat. Do you think that this will be the final season of Arrow? They could work it and make it the final season, but if it's still getting ratings, they won't cancel, I don't think. They'd probably maybe try and get to season 10 if they wanted to. Do you think it's odd that in the crossover Barry has... Sorry, I've just got to scroll up and missed that question. I've missed it again. Where is it? Do you think it's odd that in the crossover Barry has no beard and Oliver isn't clean shaven? Yeah, sort of. But... yeah, sort of. I don't know the best way to put it. But I guess they're meant to swap at their current times, you know? So they're meant to, like... Barry's are meant to replicate what Oliver would look like. You know, having a beard and having a shaved head and all of that. They're just meant to literally swap bodies. Or swap identities with their bodies. So I think that's just exactly what's meant to be going on there. But I'm guessing they'll explain in the crossover. But I did say some people... like, maybe Grant should have a beard if he's going to be Green Arrow. So I'm just looking through the chat. We got Maddie with the €5, that is. If Felicity is going evil, could we see it starting this season? Also, have you seen John Barrowman in the Jungle? I know he's in the, what do you call it, the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here thing, which is actually, they're filming, I think they're like 40 minutes away from me, where they're filming that, I'm a Celebrity. Like, it's filmed on the Gold Coast, I'm pretty sure, like in the Hinterlands. And that's only about like 45 minutes away from me. So I could drive in and just literally spoil that show and be like, hey, what's going on? If anyone wants me to do that, fair enough, ask me. But yeah, they're only like 45 minutes away from me where they're filming that I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. What was the other bit of that question? But I haven't watched any of it. I've seen some of it on Twitter. If Felicity is going evil, could we see it starting this season? We already saw it start this season. It sort of started last episode when she did that stuff with Anatoly, and even the episode previously with that with Silencer and just certain things that she was willing to do. So she sort of is heading down that, I wouldn't say evil path, but dark path that would lead to what we know of her in the future. So they've already sort of started it for the most part, but they haven't like clearly started. Like I haven't seen Felicity shoot someone in the head, even though she was close to it last episode, might I say. How do you think Barry and Oliver will switch back? It's probably something just reversing whatever Dr. Destiny did. I'm interested to see how he caused it, because in the comics he obviously has like a stone or like sort of like stone sort of thing. I don't think they'll do that in the crossover. They might have something where like a stone's involved, but it won't be purely because of the stone. But I'm intrigued. They'll probably just have to reverse it through that. But I have to wait and see. Should we actually believe that future Felicity is dead? I think go with it. That's what I always say. People always go, oh, whoever believes Felicity is dead is gullible. All this. And I'm like, yeah, but just go with it. I always say that just go with whatever the show's telling you, and you can just keep your theories. That's what I always say. So, Felicity, do I think she is ultimately dead? Probably not, but I'm just going to go with it so I can just believe whatever storytelling they're going to go with. I think it's better to just go with it for a narrative, for the sake of the narrative and what they're trying to portray. Just let you understand the story better, and you don't keep questioning and sort of like not believing certain things, because when that happens, you can actually miss out on story beats, which in turn just confuses you down the track. So if you're watching Arrow, Just believe that Felicity is dead in the future Flash, in the Flash forward. Just go with it, even if you don't believe it. If that makes sense, just go with it for now until the story decides to reveal that psych, it's not real. Is William going to become the Green Arrow? I would sort of be surprised if they did that, because he seems very uncoordinated, that William dude. So I don't think they'd do that. Don't believe Cicada would last the entire season. I would be surprised. Yeah, as I said, I think it all depends on the reveal of whatever Nori reveals. Because we know that's going to happen most likely in episode 8, and that's going to be the big twist. So I think whoever reveal... Like, if it's... The thing is, I think there's two options. If it's Reverse Flash, then I'd expect Reverse Flash to be the villain in the back half. However, if it's like an evil twin or her twin brother or something like that, then I'd probably just expect Cicada to be the villain, maybe. I don't know. There's even another theory where it is Cicada in the future. So it's Cicada, 30 years in the future, that's doing all of this. So there's a couple of options there. But I think the main one in regards to replacing Cicada as a villain would have to be that it's Reverse Flash there. That's helping her. Unless he has the Colts. Yeah, if he has the Colt, then they could easily stretch it till the end of the season. It's just that, remember back to season 3, they tried to do the Cult of Savitar, and it just, like, didn't work. It was so... It just didn't make sense, the Cult of Savitar. It just didn't work. Like, it was sort of cool when they did it with Alchemy, because it just felt weird. But when, as soon as Savitar came into it, it just didn't work, and it sort of just... And I can understand why the show dropped it off. Like, if that was into the back half even more, then I think season 3's ending would have been even more messy. So, yeah. The Cult of Pagey. Well, there's the Cult of Anti-Pagey, which is otherwise known as West Allen Twitter. They were in full ruckus this morning, which is pretty funny. Do you think we have tonight the Elseworlds? Yeah, no, it should be during the Supergirl episode, by the way, Legion del Aloverso. I think that's the way to say it. Sorry if I did an accent that might be offensive. It should be during the Supergirl episode, so like halfway through, roughly. Maybe, yeah. Pagey, why is it that when the Legends of Tomorrow meet each other, it breaks time? Barry meets himself multiple times, it does nothing. Plot. That's probably the best answer. Plot. It'll, you know, with Legends, it allows them to not do certain things and avoid going to certain times. It also gives them some sort of issue. With Barry, he's always going to do it, so they have to like sort of work around it. Do you know why a Legends member will make an appearance in the crossover? I'm guessing it's the Legends. For those that don't know, we know that Legends of Tomorrow is not in the what do you call it? The crossover. However, a Legends character, I think they just said it specifically, a Legends character will make a cameo in the Supergirl episode, which is the last episode. And from what it seems, thanks to the Supergirl promo images, at the end of the Arrow episode, most likely, Dr. Destiny like completely rewrites reality. So basically, everyone's swapped. So if that Supergirl teaser where like Kara is in that metahuman cell, which will most likely be like an alien holding cell in the crossover, and then this Alex Danvers outside with like the black suit Superman sort of insignia. That's, I think, post Dr. Destiny like completely rewriting stuff. So he did it with Barry and Oliver. But then at the end of our episode, he goes like, YOLO, let's completely change it up. So that's probably how we get the Legends character coming in. Whether they're evil or good is for us to wait and find out. But I'm guessing that's how they're going to do it. That's my guess, at least. Shut up. People outside making noise. Do you think Trigon is the season 4 villain of Legends? Trigon's a villain of Titans. I think the season 4 villain of Legends could be that Manny dude, or it could be someone that Manny's like helping assist. But we'll have to wait. It's going to be some sort of demon or something like that. So I'm just looking through the chat again. Sorry for this. What are the chances of seeing a Bruce Wayne / Batman cameo on the Batwoman TV show? I'd say a Bruce Wayne cameo would be highly likely, because by the time Batwoman comes out, Gotham would have ended, so they could probably use the Bruce Wayne character. Batman, however, would be a stretch. They can probably say Batman and all that, like they are in the Elseworlds crossover. But seeing Batman would be a bit of a stretch. But Bruce Wayne, I think we could see him multiple times if they wanted to. He could maybe even be like a recurring character on the show for season 1 if they wanted to. I guess it just matters how they explain Batman's absence and stuff like that. Like, did Batman like get really hurt? Did Bane break his back or something? He's gone off to recover. That's for us to wait and find out, I guess, whether it's in the crossover or the Batwoman TV show. But I think Bruce Wayne would be easy for the show to use. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. Clint with the $2. Just trigger Paigey. It's Godspeed, lol. Slightly triggered, Clint. Got me triggered. I feel like ending the stream now because of Clint. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, if Godspeed's the villain, I think I might... I don't know what I'll do. What would I do? If Godspeed's if Godspeed's revealed as the future villain and like the one that's working with Iris, I'll get a West Allen tattoo. I will get... Okay, do I have a piece of paper? Do I have a piece of paper? I should. I did have pieces of paper. Okay, I have a letter here. I have an envelope. I'll get a tattoo that's just like... I'll just go like... What's this pen not to work? Jesus Christ. Okay, we got... Why do all these pens not work? There we go. Okay, we'll get like a tattoo that just says like... I don't know if you can see that. West Allen for life. We'll get that going on. Yeah, so we got West Allen for life. Ignore the scribbles down there. That was me trying to figure out the pen. So yeah, if Godspeed's the future villain, we're not getting on. It's not going to be some like Joker forehead tattoo. It's not going to be damaged or whatever it was. However, West Allen for life, maybe on the wrist, maybe on a finger. I don't know. It goes somewhere, but yeah, West Allen for life will be the tattoo that is put on if Godspeed is the future villain. No, backing out now. Yeah, it's. I'm guessing this is gonna. Yeah. What have I gotten myself into? I can just imagine the Flash writers going, quick, change it, quick. They already poked fun at me with the cicada thing that Sherlock said. So let's just get in with this Godspeed thing. Demon with the $2. Thank you very much for that, Demon. What channel in Australia to watch the CW shows on? Fox 8 has Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, and Legends. And Netflix has Black Lightning. I watch it through a military streaming service called US TV. Is it US TV Now or just US TV? I have it here. US TV Now. And it's basically like a thing for like military people to watch. So you sign up and you subscribe to it and you can watch a certain amount of American channels legally. It's not illegal. So that's how I watch it. So I'm just going through the chat. It's not going on my forehead if I have to get that tattoo. Leg. I'd rather get it on like my wrist, to be completely honest, because I could just make. It's not going to say West Allen for life; it'd say WA for life. So I could just pretend. There's a state in Australia called Western Australia, and its abbreviation is obviously WA. So I could just pretend I'm from WA, even though that's an insider, because I don't really want to be from WA. I could just say that I'm from Western Australia, and that's why WA for life is there. Was I in the military? No, I was not. Hey, don't lick the computer. Cal's licking the computer. No. I know, it mustn't taste good. Get it on my neck. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Do you think Nora meeting Barry at the wedding affected the timeline? Nora said she never saw the Flash going to jail in the museum. Maybe. The thing with that is that... Well, the thing with that scene is that they said that they were going to explain why Nora traveled back to those specific moments. So the wedding, the 2 times the jitters, and then the baby shower for Cecile. They haven't gone into detail with any of those as of yet. Will they? I don't know. Hopefully they do. I guess they might have to wait till... Sorry for that. Until, like, Nora's, like, mid-season finale secret is revealed by her through pressure from Sherlock. So that might be why they're waiting on that. But we know that's something that we're meant to see. They said we're going to see that this season, so hopefully they do jump into that. Remember when Stephen Amell commented on one of your videos and teased how the CW keeps outsmarting you no matter how right your theories are, the CW? Well, that's the thing. When that happened, I've mentioned that who the new Green Arrow is. I mentioned that in multiple videos. So, yeah, I was like sort of like partially right, I guess. I wasn't exactly right, but I was like sort of partially right with that. Nora is going to end up erasing herself, and it will most likely cause tension between West Ellen. Probably not. I don't think it would. Unless like one of them causes her to disappear. Like one of them actions causes it. Because the thing is that with this happening with Iris now in the present day, she's never going to do that speed dampener thing in the future. This is why time travel is confusing. Okay, so she's never going to do that speed dampener thing in the future, which would cause Nora to have her speed at a much earlier age, which probably wouldn't cause her to time travel when she's, what, like late 20s or something like that, back to this period, which would then cause the whole speed dampener drama to happen again. You know what I mean? You know why that's confusing? Which would then lead to... Oh my god, this is so confusing. So it's like one of those... like those loops that like Savitar had, like the issue there. So that's the issue when you do time travel and there's big changes with a character, especially a present day character, and their effects on something in the future, especially with that character that's time traveled. So that's probably the biggest issue in regards to that. I can't see Nora surviving or like not being erased, just due to the fact, and that doesn't mean Nora is dead in the future. Nora, I think, will still be alive in the future, and she'll probably have a brother named, like, I don't know, Ronnie or Eddie or something like that. That's probably what will happen. However, this Nora that we have in present day, who has had some character development, will just be erased, and this will be a completely new Nora that's there. This Nora, I don't think, can exist. I don't think this Nora can be real. Unless she goes back to another timeline, but once again, that'd be a different Nora that's in the future regardless. So... it's the whole time travel thing's confusing. I was sort of hoping they wouldn't do time travel again, just because I don't think the writers are that good at it. They sort of like trip over their work. Like in certain parts, awesome. Some of the stuff they do is really cool. I can't wait for the 100th episode with that time travel, because I think it's going to be cool because we're going to the past. But I think when you bring in stuff from the future and you establish a character and what their like situation is in the future and stuff that's happened to them, as soon as you start changing stuff in the present day that would affect that future for them, then it just causes massive confusion, because that character should technically not exist anymore, because their traits and like certain things that lead into that moment wouldn't exist. So I don't know. It's only episode up to episode 7 this week, so there's a lot of time to correct that and actually make it make sense. But at the moment, I think it's just there's a big question mark on it. I just don't want them to do a season 3 again where they tripped over their storylines at the when it came to the end of the season. So I'm just scrolling through the chat. Will Savitar be in episode 100? It's not confirmed, but it's highly likely, just because the guy that played Zoom said other speedsters. Yes, Eric, you are part of the problem. You're a racist redneck. You're part of the problem. Will we see Nora's present day life? I've heard they're doing a future scene, which... No, I think what was it? There's a scene where... I think it's Nora, like... I don't know if it's meant to be like just before she came or something, but I think it's meant to be an older Cecile, an older Iris, and an older Caitlin, and an older Jenna, I think it was, in a scene or scenes. I have to say it's scenes. I don't know how they could fit all that in one scene. So I think it's meant to be maybe one episode. There's a couple of flash forwards, and it involves those characters. So older Iris, older Jenna, so you know Cecile's daughter, or John Cecile's daughter, older Caitlin, and older Cecile. Did I say Cecile? So yeah, Nora, Iris, Cecile, Caitlin, Jenna, and Nora as we know her. That's a future scene we're meant to getting. So, or scenes. It could be an episode and a couple of scenes put together. So, that's something that I've heard is happening. I don't know if that's true or not. But we know that Nora knows of Caitlin in the future. There was no Killer Frost in the Flash Museum. So something maybe happens in the future. Maybe Caitlin's in on the speed dampener thing in the future, maybe. Maybe she knows about it. Who knows? Are we ever going to see Cobalt Blue? I'd hope so, but they're sort of running out of time. I think it matters who they make Cobalt Blue. Is it going to be Eddie Thorne? Is it going to be another Barry twin? Ugh, that'd be terrible. It just matters who they make him, but they're sort of running out of time to do it. They should have done him... They probably should have done season 3, maybe. Not done Savitar, just done Cobalt Blue then, but I don't know. If I had to pick one Arrowverse show to cancel, what would it be? If I had to, like if I was held at gunpoint and knife point and bomb point and bomb in the neck point, probably Supergirl because it's on a different Earth. If it was on Earth 1, then it might be a bit of a harder, bigger decision because, and people might go, it's Supergirl Peggy. It's like, no, it's because it's on a different Earth. It's an easy one to pick to be cancelled. Caitlin is working with Nora, bruh. Maybe. Matters what we don't know what Caitlin's doing in the future. We don't know if she's like evil or not. We just know that Nora gave her that dodgy look when they were in Jitters. So maybe, I don't know. It's all assumption at the moment. A West Allen shipper said she hoped that 5x6 got terrible ratings because there would be no West Allen and that no one liked original Team Flash episodes. Then she claimed she hated the episode and said it was boring. We can't say it was boring because a lot happened. Like, a lot happened in that episode. I think, did we go over in the last stream? I think, I can look it up again if I want to. I think it had the joint highest ratings, or the second highest ratings of the season. IMDb, The Flash. Let me look it up. Because IMDb is usually a good place to get the ratings, because it's a mixture of critics and viewers. Episode season 5. Okay. Nora and so episode 1 and episode 1, or otherwise known as Nora, and episode 3, otherwise known as The Death of Vibe, have the tied highest rating of 8.5 out of 10 as like an average rating. Icicle Cometh comes in at second or third, if I guess second, with 8.3. Fourth is Blocked. Or third is Blocked, so episode 2 has 8.1. Then All Dolled Up, episode 5 has an 8, and then episode 4 has a 7.9. So Icicle Cometh, according to IMDb, which is a pretty good place to get ratings and stuff like that, is says it's coming second, or I guess second, because Nora episode 1 and episode 3 are tied for first. Will Pagey ever get himself a good haircut? It's a possibility. I wouldn't count on it, but it's a possibility. Can you actually look at the reviews? No. I don't know why my phone's ringing. I'll have to answer that. I could bring that person back afterwards. There were some set photos released of Cicada for the back half of the season. Do you think there will be another villain? That's coming from Grace. I guess it just sort of matters. Did I say IGN or did I say IMDb? I think I meant... I was on IMDb, so I meant IMDb. I don't know if I said IGN. But anyway, back to Grace's question. Yeah, there's some set photos of Cicada with like a new sort of trench coat. We call it like a trench coat or like a robe. I don't know what we'd call it. It has like, actually, the back looks like, if you look up at a cicada, like the actual insect, the wings sort of have like a really cool pattern. That's on the back of Cicada's thing. I should bring it up on stream, actually. Let me get it for you guys. Give me 2 seconds. I know. Oh, Pagey, the unprofessional asshole. Okay, so let me open that up. Let me save that image. I'll just type it Cicada 1. I typed 1 instead of just the number 1. Anyway, that's me being an idiot. And sorry, this is. Oh my god, this is so boring. Okay, we'll save that one. We'll call that Cicada. Oh, I can't type today. Cicada 2, and I'll get another picture for you guys. So here's another picture of Cicada. There's Cicada 3. Cicada. I can't type once again. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I have to go to editor. Oh, this is so exciting, me bringing up images. But here we go. So here's okay, let me get that. Okay, where's Cicada? Cicada. Okay, here is... Okay, there's the first image of Cicada. Okay, right there. So that's a new thing. You can see that's a new robe sort of thing. You can see the different patterns on there. I don't necessarily know if this is like something that he made, or there's a potential that maybe the future was... not the future, the past. Because as we know, in episode 8, they're time traveling. So there is a possibility that maybe they go back in time in order to get some stuff to stop Cicada, but in turn, maybe they make him more powerful, or they just change the timeline a tiny bit that allows him to be a bit different, maybe a bit more powerful. Maybe there's just other things that happen, but this is different. Yeah, I think currently he just has like a really dark green, like version of this. It's like really dark green or something like that. This is like black. It has a really cool pattern. I'll get another image up now. So I'll just close that. Let me get another image up. This is the back of his thing. Where is it? Okay, that's the back of his thing right there. It almost has like wings. And I'll show you another image in a second. We'll put 2 images up on the screen at the one time, which will block out my face, which I'm sure some of you might be happy with. Browse was the last cicada image. There. Okay. Done. Okay, so that's some of you that don't like insects might be like grossed out by that, but that's like a cicada. I'll actually move this over a bit. Sorry, Killer Frost fans, but I have to move Killer Frost out of the image for now. So that's the cicada, the insect. Then you can see like the detailings on the wings, and it sort of looks like that on his back as well. And even like the little dots and everything, it sort of like matches up with his thing. A face reveal. Ah, there I am. But yeah, so it sort of like matches up. I think it looks really cool. I think that design of that robe is actually really, really cool. Because actually, he's named after a goddamn insect. So there we go. He actually, like, his outfit sort of looks like the insect. So I think that's actually sort of cool. I think it's probably like one of the only ones to actually notice that when I saw it. But yeah, so that's the cicada stuff. Can I get rid of these 3 at the one time? I think I can, yep. Okay, sweet, they're all gone. So I think that's pretty cool. Just looking through the chat. Dog, I'm bugophobic. Why, dog? I don't know, I just thought I would do it. If you were a superhero, what would you want us to call you? The Triggerer. I think that's probably the best term to use, the Triggerer. I seem to, without even like unintentionally, just trigger people. I guess that's what having an opinion does. What would have caused the cicada from Nora's future if it wasn't the satellite being destroyed? I guess that's one thing that will be interesting. Like, how did that cicada come around? Because how did David Hirsch become cicada? Because in the comics, David Hirsch is cicada. So in Nora's future timeline, that's a comic accurate. But obviously in our thing, Orlin Dwyer is cicada. So they might explain that maybe in some future things. Maybe that original cicada is working with Nora. That'd be weird. But maybe they might dive into that a bit. But that'd be interesting. But then again, they don't know who he is. They've never been able to catch him. So due to that, they probably wouldn't understand his origin or know of it. Maybe that's the issue there. But yeah. Trigger and clickbait. CW make this happen. Yeah, the dynamic duo. Watch out, rogues, get your heart out. I can be Kid Trigger. Ooh, I wouldn't mind Kid Trigger. Actually, that sounds a bit weird. Anyway, maybe Little Trigger. Little Trigger. We'll pretend I'm like a rapper or something, like some SoundCloud rapper. Little Trigger. We'll call myself. That's a good way to go about it, I think. The original cicada is working with Iris to save people falling from buildings in Usually I don't get my mind blown live on stream. But Eric's Reloaded, I think it might have just completely cracked the future cicada. And the original one. Wow. Like, as I said, usually I don't get my mind blown on stream. But now Iris jumping off the building to save Barry from a falling chair, from a chair falling off a building. That makes complete sense now. If that's the storyline they're going for, then wow, I can't believe it. But that'll be amazing. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much because I think I might get a migraine if I actually look into that too deep because my mind will be exploded too much. Anyway, Nora coming in with the $5. Nora, is that you? Nora shouldn't be here. Hi, Paigey. Are you more excited for the crossover or the 100th episode? Even though I really, really love The Flash, it's probably the crossover just because it's doing a lot of different stuff. But it's only just beating out the 100th episode. Like, I really am looking forward to the 100th episode. However, we know that it is got to be sort of rushed because they just have to. It's just unfortunate that that's the way it is. They're just going to be like bang, 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 bang through that episode, while ELSEWORLDS will be a bit more fleshed out in certain parts. But I'm looking forward to both. But, it's a crossover. It's a crossover. You're going to be more excited for it naturally. So yeah, but it's only just beating out the 100th episode. But yeah, they're very, very close. But thank you very much for that $5, Nora. Greatly appreciated. How long until the trailer drops? exactly 2 hours, roughly, probably. Nora is actually working with the person in apartment 4. Well, I guess the big question is there actually anyone in apartment 4? Is apartment 4 its own entity? That's the big question that we asked last, before this season started. Just the status of apartment 4. Like, is someone living in it? Is it's actually a living thing? Is it like, was it Room 2048 or whatever that movie is? The Stephen King novel that got turned into a movie? Is it like that? Is there dead people walking around in there? Is there weird stuff going in there? Can you not exit it at certain points? There's a lot of questions about apartment 4. Will they dive into it? Hopefully they do. I just can't see them doing it. It just seems like too hard of a storyline to really dive into. But one would hope. One would hope. That's probably the best way to put it. One would hope. Cicada from Nora's timeline was probably hit by the satellite, but since Nora was there to change it, yeah, it's probably what it was. But they haven't really properly explained that. But then again, they might explain it. But yeah, they haven't fully explained it. I guess we're just meant to assume that that's the case. What Flash comic should I start with? Probably weird birds making noises. If you don't live in Australia, you've never been to Australia, we have birds here that just make incredibly weird noises. Like, it's just sometimes you hear stuff and you're like, was that even possible by a living creature? And you just realize it was a bird. So, weird bird noise. I don't know if anyone heard it. Someone wrote a question and I was just looking at it and I was just, what Flash comic should I start with? Probably read the Flash Rebirth, the one from 2000 and, what was it? 6, 2007, 2009, one of the two, whatever that is. Then read maybe Flashpoint, and then just start with DC Comics Rebirth, the one that started 2 or 3 years ago, and just read from there. It's probably the best way to go about it. Yo, mate, what part of Australia are you from? I was born in Sydney, and lived there till I was 20, 21. Then I moved up to Brisbane, and I've been here ever since. But I'm probably going to move back down to Sydney next year, halfway through next year, when the lease on this place ends. So yeah, I'll be back in Sydney because that's the place I want to be. You're the best man. Do you think Superman and Lois will get their own show? I guess it just matters with what they're doing with Superman in the movie stuff. But the Superman in the DC in DC TV and the Superman that they're trying to portray in the DC universe are much different. The DC TV Superman with Tyler Hoechlin or Hoechlin, however you pronounce his name. He is much almost like a very Christopher Reeve type Superman, classic Superman. His Clark Kent is I think his Clark Kent is really, really good. So I really wouldn't have an issue if they did a Superman TV show and the Superman movie stuff. I don't see why they would have an issue with that, because they would be much different. Just like with the Flash TV show and the Flash movie, they're going to be different. So yeah, I'd like to see it. I don't know if we will, but I'd really like to see it. Nicole Kidman was in a chat show and shows she caught a big spider and everyone was going, wow. She says, I'm from Australia, I've seen worse. Yeah, I don't know. You don't get, I don't know, do you get huntsmans in America? Do you get huntsman spiders? Huntsman spiders. Are they just they're just in Australia. The Australian huntsman, they're just Australian, aren't they? Huntsman spiders, because they're massive. And they are everywhere in Australia. I get them. I think they must be in America as well, but in Australia they're huge. I don't know if anyone, I don't know. Am I doing this? Am I putting you on? Am I showing you a huntsman spider? No, I don't know. Make it a bit of a surprise. You won't expect it showing up on the screen when you do. There's also look up Australian bird eating spider as well. Australian bird eating spider. They're massive. They are huge, those spiders. They're the size of your hand. They are. They're literally this. They're probably I've seen one. I haven't actually. Okay, I'm gonna show. Okay. Will this get me demonetized if I put this on stream? Okay, let me know if you want to see this image. I don't really want to because it might be grim. I'm not going to. Actually, this one's not too bad. No, I'm not going to. Okay, I won't. Ooh, what's this one? How many images are this? Is this the same spider eating the same bird? Okay, to describe it to you, it's a bird. It's a bird eating a spider. It's a spider eating a bird. Okay, I'm gonna tweet it out. So if you wanna have a look at it, I'm gonna tweet it out. My Twitter's in the link in the description down below. I'm just gonna go, don't ever complain about spiders. Okay, I just tweeted it out. So there's, if you want to go look at the image, I just tweeted it out. Yeah, so there's the image. I'm not going to show it on stream just because I think it's a bit grim. I just don't want to turn anyone off. But yeah, so I just tweeted it out if anyone wants to go look at that image. I'll probably delete it like after the stream ends. But I'm just putting it up there temporarily because I don't want to put it on the stream. Just because if you don't want to look at it, then you don't have to look at it. Which one better, Marvel or DC shows? Well, I think DC does better at TV. Like Netflix, I don't really care because it's a bit of a cheat in regards to Netflix because it's not really TV. It's basically just a 13-hour long movie. But in regards to TV series, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really good, but like I think DC is much more consistent when you include Gotham in there as well. Yeah, I'm guessing people have seen that spider picture. That was like on the news and that was a couple of years ago. But like that's a scary spider as well. Like there's other bird-eating spiders which look like tarantulas almost. I think they are part of like the same family of tarantulas, like the same sort of string. But that's a creepy spider. Like that's a spider from A Nightmare, like with the thin legs and ugh. I can't cop them as well. I hate spiders as well. I like snakes, hate spiders. I can't cop spiders. Do you think Laurel slit Future Dunner's throat? Probably not. They sort of hinted at last episode on Arrow when that Kodiak shield, you know, the one of the Longbow Hunters, his shield came down and like it just missed Dinah's neck, and his like shield has like blades on the outside of it. So maybe they were suggesting that that's how she gets her neck slit or something like that. I'm arachnophobic, yet Spider-Man is my favorite. It's probably the case with a lot of arachnophobes. They hate spiders, but they love Spider-Man. Naruto 0076 with the $5. Thank you very much for that, Naruto. Think Crisis will bring back Vibes Earth 2 Destruction Vision. Maybe we sort of like lacking big things like that. Like, I'd like them to use, because the thing with Vibe is that, let me know if you think this is correct. Don't you think Cisco could just like grab Nora by the arm and vibe certain things and just see if she was hiding any secrets? Like, I think that's maybe what they could do. I guess maybe that's an explanation as to why Vibe gets injured. Maybe so they can't. Maybe that's an explanation as, oh, that's why Cisco might not be able to vibe with Nora because it's too far in the future and stuff like that. But you think they'll just use Cisco to vibe Nora to see if she's either telling the truth or just see some stuff. So I don't know. But in regards to like destruction vision with Vibe and stuff, I don't know if they'll go that far, but I'm surprised they're not using her with like using him, sorry, for stuff involving Nora and stuff like that. So I'm just looking at this. Some of the responses that you guys are giving to the spider picture on Instagram are hilarious. Some of them are really funny. So I'm just looking at the chat. Well, they still might. The thing with Cisco is that they still might do that. As I said, they might be waiting until the big thing with like Nora's storyline. A lot of people are having issues with Nora, and I can understand why people are having issues with Nora at this current stage. However, I think they are really banking on waiting until that reveal in what do you call it, the mid-season finale to then move forward with it. So I don't think they can really do too much. They don't want to spoil stuff. or at least hint to stuff that they probably want to have as a big twist or shock or reveal in that episode. So maybe that's why they're just holding off on doing it at the moment. Yeah, he might do it accidentally. He might do it unintentionally. Like, he might just, like, him and Nora could fall over and, like, Cisco might grab her or something like that. Or, like, she might get blown back and, like, Cisco, like, just holds her or something and then he vibes. Because that's a lot of the time what happens. Sometimes he intentionally vibes. Sometimes he accidentally vibes. So, yeah. God, noisy people outside. Do you think Black Star... I don't think she is. I don't think Katie Cassidy's in the crossover. What kind of powers does Trigger have? He sort of has like, you know how people can feel empathy and like, you know how like in the Flash, the moment Cecile can like feel empathy and like what do you call it, like replicate people's emotions and stuff. Basically, I'm very good at triggering people's emotions, and I can change people's emotions in a heartbeat and just like, oh, now you're angry, oh, now you're sad, oh, now you're extremely angry. And sending a tweet calling someone a racist. That's basically what Trigger's powers are. They're very useful in certain situations. In some other ones, they're not. But in some situations, especially when you want to trigger, they're actually very useful. And like Cisco's vibe powers, sometimes you unintentionally use them as well. So I'm just looking through the chat again. How are they going to explain the time jump on the Flash? I don't know. We're at Thanksgiving this week if everyone doesn't know. So we're skipping ahead like 3 or 4 months. Will they explain it? I don't know. But they are. They're jumping ahead a couple of months. Do you think Matt Letcher will be in the 100th episode? If they're doing Reverse Flash, I'd like to see Matt Letcher there. He was doing Narcos, Mexico. But that ended filming in like June or July. So he would have been able to do the Flash if they wanted him there. As I said, all this filming for the 100th episode was basically all behind closed doors. We only know of one location that they used. Other than the promo images, we only knew of one location they used, which was the Allen house. So we know that they're going to the Allen house, where both Nora and Henry were murdered by Reverse Flash and then Zoom. So they're going to that location at some point in the crossover. Don't know what the reason for that is, but they're going there. But due to that, it's hard to tell who's playing Reverse Flash. I'd like to see Matt Letcher, but for convenience, if it's just for like one scene, then I guess Tom Cavanagh would be the easiest person to use. Naruto with another $5. Possibility of Arrow doing a flash forward centric episode like they used to do with the flashbacks. I'd expect that, to be completely honest. I'd expect an episode where we are fully flash forwards, or at least the majority of the episode is flash forwards, and maybe the beginning of the episode is present day and the end of the episode is present day, but then like there's just the whole in between is just flash forwards. I think that'd be a really good way to go about it. But guys, I'm actually going to end the stream now. I've been streaming for almost an hour and 10 minutes. I was actually only going to stream today for like half an hour, but we went really well. So thank you guys for coming in here, chatting. As I said, hopefully the proper trailer for the ELSEWORLDS crossover will be in like just under 2 hours from now. So keep your eyes out for that on my channel, and just YouTube in general, but hopefully just my channel. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Hopefully you have a good day or night or sleep or morning, depending on wherever you are. And yeah, until my next video and my next stream, I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.